Welcome, traders. My name is Chris Buss. I'll be your host today for this program. I'm also the host over at tradersprofitcompass.com. I hope at some point you make your way over to the website and check out my content. I'm glad that you're here. I think the information that I'll share with you will be very powerful if you put it to work. The concepts are not complicated. They're, in fact, very simple, but they're not easy. It'll take you some work to put together what I'm going to show you, but they have long-lasting implications for your trading career going forward. What I'm going to do is talk about the Wall Street model for developing star traders. And it's really a model that doesn't just apply to Wall Street, but it also applies to any high achiever in any type business or high achieving profession like sports or anything like that. So there's wide application for this strategy and this approach, this model, and I think it has direct applications for we as independent aspiring traders. Before we get into the Wall Street aspect, I want you to take a look at these folks. We've got celebrity chef Emeril Lagasse. We've got our aspiring trader here. We've got Jamie Dimon, CEO. We've got Lewis Hamilton, world champion Formula One driver. Peyton and Tiger. Think about these guys. What do they all have in common? Think about it. One thing that comes to the top of my head is they all worked really hard to get to where they are. And it's the same in trading. It's hard work. It's going to take time. And you've got to play the long game. None of these guys just waltzed into their position of success. All of them started at the bottom and worked their way up. And it's going to be no different for we as aspiring traders. It's going to take work. So forget about trying to find shortcuts and sidestepping a bunch of stuff because it's just not going to work. Commit yourself to playing the long game. And if you want to improve and you want to take trading to somewhere more than, a hobby or a sideline, commit to the work. Commit to doing the work, and good things will happen over time. The next thing that comes to my mind is that talent matters. When you look at all these people, whether it's a celebrity chef or a Formula One driver, world champion, these guys are at the pinnacle of their profession. And the only way you get to the pinnacle is if you have talent. If you don't have talent, it's going to be hard to reach the top. That goes for me, that goes for you, that goes for anybody. The next thing that comes to my mind is that they all have amazing teams that support them. If you look at Jamie Dimon, what would he be without the organization, without his top lieutenants that he has often groomed himself to bring into his inner circle to help him on decision making, to help him make the tough choices. I'm talking about the CFO, the COO, his top international people. He is in charge of a talented team, and he's at the head of that team. But if you were to pluck Jamie Dimon out and put him at, a small community bank, somewhere in the heartland, yes, he's still going to be a good leader of that small bank. but he's not going to achieve the heights that he has now because of the organization that he's in and because of the quality of people that he surrounds himself with. Same thing for our friend here, Lewis Hamilton. He's the best driver, but he's also on the best team with the best organization and the best sponsors and the best car. He should win. If he's a good driver and the best driver, he should win. But if you pluck this driver out and put him on a bad team, a slow car, a team that doesn't have the resources to make those improvements, surrounded by players that are more inexperienced and less talented, he's not going to win. He's not going to win. And you can go through all these guys. Talent matters, but the team matters almost just as much. I hope you can see that. Let's just take one team for some, pro golfer, accomplished golfer, aspiring golfer. This is the type of high-performance team that aspiring high achievers build. Any top golfer is going to have a fitness coach, a swing coach, the caddy, the on-course coach, a family support network. They're going to have the support and camaraderie of other professionals. They're going to have access to a sports psychologist, and they're going to have people on their team that are devoted to the business side of being a pro. So the agent and the business manager take the off-field, the off-course activities, and work hard on the behalf of the pro to do all the business type activities. Okay? Now, if you were operating in that environment and you didn't have a fitness coach or you didn't have a swing coach, wouldn't you say that golfer would be at a disadvantage to the other pros that are out there that do have these resources? Of course. Now, 30 years ago, I don't know how many sports psychologists were out there, but now that sports psychologist is an integral part of the team, because the differences between the top 125 players in the world on a physical standpoint is minimal. It's 1 or 2% between the best and the worst on a physical level. Where the performance comes into play is on the psychology level, on being able to keep your head right while you're under pressure when it's time to perform. Those are the guys that rise to the top and win. So any high achiever is going to have roles that are played within the team that facilitate the talent of the high achiever to be the best that they can be. Now, let's move on to Wall Street. So you're a trader. You're a rookie trader, and you just get out of business school, and you talk your way into a job in a big Wall Street firm, and they hire you to be a trader. What's the first thing that happens? Do you think that they just walk, show them their desk in the currency, on the currency trading desk, or onto the bond desk, or onto the equity desk? No. the first thing the HR director says is that you're going to spend the next 12 to 18 months going on a rotation. You're going to spend time on the bond desk. You're going to spend time on the currency desk, the commodity desk. You're going to trade precious metals and oil. You're going to trade derivatives and futures. And you're going to trade equities. The whole purpose of that rotation is to match the passion with the aptitude. Okay? When you have the passion and the aptitude, that's a recipe for success. And if you think about it, I can almost assure you 95% of retail at-home traders just trade equities. They never explore these other asset classes. They have no idea what those asset classes have to offer to them. And they don't know if their passion could be elsewhere. Okay? I think you do yourself a great disservice if you don't spend some time, quality time, good time, 3 months, 4 months, playing with these other asset classes to see if a light bulb goes off and you find your passion in currencies. Back in the old days, at-home traders didn't have access to these markets. Now, with the sophisticated platforms, you can trade oil futures. You can trade currencies. You can trade derivatives and futures just as easily as you can trade equities. Okay? If you can find your passion, and especially if there's doubts or questions in your mind if equities is the right place for you, spend quality time in these other asset classes. And if you think about it, if you consume financial media to any degree, when they interview famous traders and what do you do for a living? I'm an oil trader. I trade precious metals. I'm a currency trader. I'm a bond trader. There is power in being specialized. Think about it. A brain surgeon makes more than a family doctor. A orthodontist makes more than a family dentist. A cabinet maker using fine woods and high-end luxury homes makes a lot more than a carpenter. So if you can find your passion in currencies or trading ES futures, that's all you need. You don't need to trade 80 different stock names. If you can get good at one thing, you can the sky's the limit. You can make $1 million trading ES futures. You can make $1 million trading oil. You can make $1 million trading currencies or bonds. It's matching passion with aptitude. And what I want you to do is make sure that whatever you're trading, that you're passionate for it. And if you're passionate for it, that'll lead to hard work, and hard work will lead to success. So experiment with those things and find your passion. So here's our new trader. He's already done his rotation. The the trading managers of the different asset class desks sits down with him and discusses the last 18 months. And he says, you know what? I want to be on the currency desk. I really enjoyed that. I think that's where I want to be. That's the place where I did the best. And they'll talk about it with the managers. And the manager of the currency desk says, love to have you. Let's get started. So they start building the team. Our trader here is accountable to the trading floor manager. Okay? This floor manager may have 10 or 15 traders. Here's the new kid on the block. Every so often, whether that's once a month or once a quarter, whatever, our trader is going to sit down with that floor manager and review progress. That accountability is key. This trader is going to be partnered with a senior person at the firm, probably not in the currency desk, but just a senior trader that has personal connection with our trader. They have good personal rapport. When this guy gets in a jam or has questions or problems or just wants to shoot the shit about trading, he's got his trading mentor to help him. Every trader has a risk manager. Do you think that on day one, when our trader gets his desk, gets his badge, the risk managers say, hey, welcome to the team. Here's your $2 billion account that you get to trade? Hell no. He's going to get a starter account. And this risk manager is going to keep his eyes on him to make sure the guardrails are up and he doesn't kill himself or kill the firm by doing something stupid. And if he does well with the starter account, he'll be able to work with the risk manager and the floor manager, say, okay, you did great with your $100 million baby starter account. We're going to kick you up to $500 million and see how it goes for the next year. And after that, we'll take it from there. So the guardrails are up. The risk protocols are in place. If this guy starts going off the deep end, the risk manager is going to walk over to his desk and tap him on the shoulder. And nobody wants to get that tap on the shoulder to say, what the F are you doing? Why is your position so large? I thought when you hit that level, that was your stop. It looks like you ignored it. Why? Fix it by the end of the day. Either get out of the position, reduce the position, whatever. You're out of bounds. Okay? So that's the risk manager role. Our new trader is also going to be right in the thick of it with a team of more experienced traders. That's just like, touring golf professionals. They're in the same profession. In this case, they're on the same team. They can celebrate successes together. They can commiserate failure and lift that person up. But they work together. Nobody wants to see the new guy fail. So those people, those experienced traders will be there for the new guy as he goes along in his career. We'll just suppose this guy has a significant other. Hopefully he's getting a lot of support at home on the late nights and the hard weekend work as this guy carves his new profession. You've got to have the home front in line in order to succeed. Obviously, if you're working on Wall Street, you'll develop contacts outside the firm. People in the same business but in different firms to cross-pollinate ideas and new approaches, different approaches that may stimulate advancement. And again, trading used to be, are you a fundamentalist? Are you a fundamentalist? Or are you a technician? Now there's a whole new element of trading psychology that has burst on the scene. And all the top firms have trading psychologists on a retainer to help traders gain their edge on the psychological level. And I think that's a powerful asset to have in any high-achieving profession, really, not just trading, but in sports, as we've already discussed. People are really seeing the power of thinking and exploring those behavioral psychologies that tend to undercut our performance. And a good trading psychologist will help a struggling trader work through those problems. So this is the Wall Street team. These are the elements of a high-performance team geared toward a new trader's and aspiring trader's success. And if you think about it, every one of these people, every one of these roles has a vested interest in this guy succeeding. And that's key. Nobody on this team wants this guy to fail. And they would probably feel bad, personally bad, if they did. And that's powerful. That's really powerful to know you have a bunch of people that are pulling for you, that'll do anything they can to help you succeed. And we should be so lucky to have that. Now, let's bring it home to us. At home traders, aspiring to grow, learn, raise the bar to our success, and have trading take us as far and as high as it can go. I will bet you that 95% of you are working alone, by yourself, in your basement, wherever you trade, you're by yourself. You don't have any numbers in your phone to pick up a call somebody else that's a trader to talk about trading. I'll bet my bottom dollar on that. You've got a lot of Twitter friends, and you may have you may be in a bunch of chat groups, but it's not the same. You're alone, and you wallow in your failures, and you feel good when you have a winning day, but at the end of the day, you're by yourself. And you're at a disadvantage. Just like we talked about the pro golfer without a swing coach or the Wall Street trader without a mentor or a risk manager, you're at a disadvantage. There's no way around that. But the good news is we can build a team. And I'm going to show you how right now. First thing you got to do is find someone to which you're accountable to. Oh, Chris, I already got that covered. I'm accountable to myself. Sorry, that doesn't cut it. Too many ways to wiggle out of problems. Too many excuses. You've got to have that firm accountability. We all answer to somebody. If you're an employee, you talk to the man. You're responsible to your manager. If you're the manager, you're responsible to the president. If you're Jamie Dimon, you're responsible to the shareholders. Everybody has to be accountable. Okay? You have to identify a person in your life that can fill that role. Okay? I'll give you an example, a quick example. I have a guy in one of the mentorship groups that I chair. He's a day trader, a scalper type guy, and, working by himself. He said, Chris, what I'm going to do every day is I'm going to catalog my trades. I'm going to, write them down. What I did, why I did it, when I did it, how much I made, and how much I lost. And I'm going to do that every day. And at the end of every day, I'm going to email that to you. And you're going to review it, and then we're going to talk about it. In a way, I'm fulfilling that role for him. He has made himself accountable to me at the level of sharing his trades, good or bad, and then we talk about them. Now, the only thing missing from that is the financial accountability. And when you set up your system, there's got to be that financial component. Okay? So let's move on. I want you to find 3 to 5 traders that you can get to know that can be on your team. This isn't going to be easy, but it's certainly doable. It's not going to be done by next Friday. It may take you a year to find 3 to 5 people that you have a personal connection to, maybe that have the same trading style as you do, maybe that are a little more experienced than you are. But it's going to be trial and error. I'll give you an example. You may think you have, and you may have a great personal rapport with somebody online in a chat room or on Twitter or something like that. Reach out to them. Say, hey, I'm this and this, and I really enjoy talking to you online. I'd like to take that to the next level and kind of chat on the phone every so often, review trades, whatever, and see what they say. Now, if they say yes, and you kind of get into it and you find you don't have that personal rapport, real life is different than, typing to one another, just let it fade away. Keep your search going, and you will uncover people that are in the same boat as you that would love to have someone to talk to about their trading. I see that every day, in my mentorship groups, that from the newest rookie trader to the most experienced, there's a lot of commonality in trading and a lot of information that you can share with one another. So commit yourself to finding 3 to 5 traders that you work well with. Oh, while I'm on the topic, before I move on, look for people in your area that you could have lunch with. Investigate trading clubs or investing clubs, or in your community, ask around or post things on, if you've got a little neighborhood community board. There may be, someone a half a mile away that's in the exact same boat as you that you could, have lunch with every once in a while. Get out of the house and go talk about trading. I think that'll serve you very, very well. Trading and traders are a funny lot. And what I mean by that is the same guy that would pay a tutor to help their high school senior get 50 points more on their SAT test, or would pay a coach to help their 8th grader shoot better foul shots, won't do anything to better their own career and their own success. Everybody thinks that they're going to be the one that just does it on their own and that doesn't need any help. And I think for the most part, those people fail at the end of the day. You've got to build that team and be willing to invest in yourself. And there are traders out there that would love to be a mentor to you and do it for free, because that's what they do. They're happy to share. They'd be proud to bring an aspiring trader up the ladder and be the person to help them. But you've got to make that first move. You've got to identify a target person that you would like to work under, that has more experience than you, that can teach you, and you've got to lead the way, because this person will never find you. You've got to reach out to them. And that may be, a financial arrangement where, you retain a mentor for some, monetary price or whatever. Or, like I said, you discover or find someone that is happy to do it for free. But any way you cut it, you need to have that resource to really start making some progress and chipping away at the things that have undercut your performance in the past. You need to find a banker. And as we talked about with the Wall Street model, the banker is another way of saying your risk manager. Okay? Quick story. I ran a small business for 25 years in South Florida. And after Hurricane Andrew, I was wiped out in '92. Didn't have a penny to my name. I went to the bank and said, hey, what do you think about giving me $500,000 to get my business back up and running? We had a couple meetings, and the bankers said, a lot of nice things and blah, blah, blah. And when the day came to find out if I got the loan, in a polite way, the banker said, that $500,000 you wanted? No effing way. you haven't proved yourself yet, and we're not giving $500,000 to somebody that not only doesn't have any money, but doesn't have a track record. Okay? And I said, okay, well, what am I going to do? He said, we can go as high as 200 grand. And we've gotten the Small Business Administration to back the loan, so we're going to win it either way. You know, if you default, the government's going to pay for it. And if you end up paying off the loan, we get to keep the interest. So we're in a no-lose situation. I want you to win, but if you don't win, we're not going to lose. So that's what risk managers do. And over time, 3 or 4 years, I got up on my feet, never missed a payment, got the business back going again, and 4 or 5 years later, I went back to the bank and said, I want another 200 grand to expand the business and have more working capital. I had 5 years under my belt. They could see the progress. And as part of that loan, I had to give them detailed financials every quarter. And I was accountable to them for not only making the payments, but showing them my financial progress in the business. So it was a pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie. I hated doing it. That, every 90 days got to turn something in. But it enforced the discipline. I knew I had to do it. And I knew what it was going to take to have those financials turn out right for the person that held my loan. And you've got to do this in your own trading. The worst mistake that I see people do that are just starting out is they take their whole life's nest egg, whether that's 10,000, 50,000, or 500,000. And on day one, they fund their trading account. Worst mistake in the world. Worst mistake in the world. Because if you're a good trader, you can turn 5,000 into 7,500 and 7,500 into 10,000. And if you're a bad trader, you can turn 500,000 into 200,000 really fast. So you've got to have somebody that keeps the guardrails on you, that ensures that you don't kill yourself and take the whole ship down with you, if you understand what I mean. Okay. Your significant other. If you don't have a significant other, if you're a 30-year-old living in your parents' basement, trading away, maybe you can ignore this section. But most people do have a significant other. And no matter what you say, because I've talked to traders about this, believe me. Oh, it's my money. It's separate. My trading account is my money. It's not your money. It's our money. It's money that your family has worked on your whole life to save up. It's your nest egg. And you've got to have this person on board with what you do, or you're dead. Plain and simple. You're dead. And you got to have them involved from the get-go, or you're dead. Because once you lose this person, it's going to be nothing but trouble. Okay? Let's move on to the next part of this, and then I'll swing back to the role of the spouse in your team. This may find it, you may find this odd, but I think you've got to really get in touch with your spirituality in trading. This is the next emerging thing after trading psychology. I'm not talking about being religious. I'm talking about spirituality. If you look at all the great spiritual traditions of the world that have survived the last 5,000 years or longer, it's all the same stuff. Okay? Pushing that ego down. Don't be greedy. All the attributes of a spiritual person are in complete harmony with being a good trader. Look at the 7 deadly sins. Okay? Being lazy, being greedy, that kind of stuff. If you're lazy, you're not going to make it as a trader. If you're greedy and always trying to milk that last 5% out of your trades, you're going to end up losing. Okay? There's great harmony between the great religions and spiritual traditions of the world and trading. And I think if you make efforts and strides on getting in touch with your spirituality, you'll be a much better trader. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I wanted to hit one more spot. For the most of us, for the majority of us, I think your significant other can play a key role in this whole thing. Okay? Once a month, once every 6 weeks, once a quarter, make yourself accountable to your spouse. They don't have to know anything about trading. They just have to see what you're working on and that you're making progress. They don't need to know about your option, derivative, whatever. They just need to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how it's going. Okay? So once a month you sit down. These are the trades that I did. Here was my profit target. Here was my stop loss. I got stopped out. I lost $200 on this trade. And when it was all said and done, at the end of a month, I lost $900. Or I made $300. Whatever it is. You're accountable to that person. There may be action items that come out of your monthly meeting that you work on, that you follow up the next time. Okay? So your spouse, significant other can play that role. They're also the perfect person to be your banker. I'll give you for instance. You guys have saved up 30 grand. Okay? That's your nest egg. That's all you got. 30 grand, and you want to be a trader. So you go to your banker, your spouse, your significant other, and you say, I want to be a trader. I'd like $30,000 to fund my account. And your spouse says, wow, I have all the confidence in the world in you, but I can't justify putting every dime that we've got in this world into your trading account. Not going to do it. Let's start with $7,500, 25%. Let's see how it goes. You build that thing up. Let's talk about adding more. If you can demonstrate some success with $7,500, and that's plenty to start a new account with. See if you build that up. let's revisit it in 6 months. If you blow it up in 3 months, you're going to have to do some fast talking on getting another $7,500 because you showed no improvement. You lost it all. So that will be an extra incentive for you not to go firing off trades, every 15 minutes, throwing darts, and you'll think long and hard before putting that trade on. And that's the way it should be. Okay? So after 6 months, when you take that $7,500 and you turn it into $12,000, maybe you can go back to your banker and say, I'd like $5,000 more, and I'll have $17,500 to work with, and then build it up. Okay? That would be a great way to not only include your significant other in your trading activities, but also keep the guardrails on so that you have to be accountable, that what the limits are, and that you'll succeed. Because to not do it that way, you put you and your family in grave jeopardy. What do I mean by that? Most spouses, when you say you want to be a trader, "Oh, I love you, honey. I'll support you. I'll do anything to help you. Just ask." That's on day 1. On day 90, you're 3 months in. "How much did you make? How's it going?" Well, I lost half." "Oh man, that blows." "I still support you. Work hard." 6 months goes by, a year goes by, and nothing happens. You continue to struggle. And then your spouse checks out and gives up on you, because that's what happens. And once that happens, almost impossible to get it back. So, and I'll also tell you this. You wouldn't be the first person in the whole wide world to become a successful, accomplished trader, but lose their family in the process. Trading can become addictive. Traders can become obsessed with getting better. And oftentimes that's what it takes to get better. You've got to be a hard worker. You've got to be relentless. You've got to have that never give up attitude. But you've got to be very careful that that doesn't bleed into or take away from you as a family person. Because if you're now working all day Saturday on your trading and you're not taking care of the home front, or you're not doing things that you used to do, your family will become isolated from you. And if that happens, very hard to get it back. So make careful choices with that. I do firmly believe that you can have a harmonious home front with your significant other integrated into your trading in a real productive and useful way as part of your team. But again, like all of these, you're going to have to work on it. It's not going to happen by itself. So, recapping the program, tangible benefits to you. Having that accountability is what ties commitment to results. And if you have someone that you're accountable to, you'll see faster and more dramatic improvement in what you do. You'll have better money management and risk control, not only because you have a banker, but you have that accountability factor worked into your team to make sure that you don't blow yourself up. Because, hey, in trading, when you blow yourself up and you don't have any more money, then you can't trade. It's as simple as that. And unless you got a rich grandma that you're going to go hit up for 20 grand to refire, it's going to be tough. So you got to watch that nest egg like a hawk and be really careful with it. If you can build your network of knowledgeable traders and find yourself a mentor, you're going to grow a lot faster through that cross-pollination and having someone that has a vested interest in your success help you along the path. We all need help. We all need people that can see what we're doing and point things out. And if you don't have that, you're at a real disadvantage. Like I said before, you've got to keep things harmonious at home. You've got to keep everybody on your team, from your kids to your spouse, everybody. They all want you to win just as bad as you do. And your role in that is sharing what you're doing, good or bad. And then, of course, the camaraderie with other traders. Find yourself a group. Talk about trading. Find 5 guys in your area where you can all go out to dinner, once a month or once every quarter to talk about how it's going. You're not alone. I can't imagine how many people are trading in your area that are all doing so independently and by themselves. Figure out a way to get together. I think you'll find trading a lot more rewarding if you have that camaraderie in your life. And, as far as I'm concerned, less social media and more real world is better when it comes to this kind of stuff. And most importantly, people on your team have to have your best interest at heart. They all got to want to see you win. And if you get even a hint that somebody in your inner circle is working against you or not helping you, let them go. You've got to have that trust. Find somebody else, because you can't have a rotten apple on your team. It'll undercut you, it'll frustrate you, and it'll take away from your success. This is one of my most favorite market wizard quotes, and it's from Ed Sequoia. Everybody gets what they want out of the market. You are the key to change. Your trading is not going to get better until you do something different and give it a try, an honest try, and work hard at it. And believe it or not, there's a lot of people that like to lose. They don't want to do the work. They'd rather be in the lonely losers club because they're not willing to change. Some traders want to be in a social club. They live for that, that bull-bear debate on Twitter or on StockTwits. Yo, it's a bull, it's a bear, blah, 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 all day long. Don't do anything. That's what they live for. That's why they're involved. They're bored, they need a hobby, and they like to get in these meaningless debates. Think about it. If you aspire to be a great trader, do you see anybody on Wall Street trading desks tweeting out all day long? Are they watching YouTube videos on how to trade? No. They're working on trading while they're trading and not doing all this other crap that doesn't, at the end of the day, help them. So figure out what you want to do and get after it. Get after it. Make it happen. You need to be the catalyst for your own change. Nobody's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, I'm happy to help. You got to find those people, and you got to populate that team. So get on it. It'll be a huge resource in your trading, and it'll really push you down that curve towards success. I want to thank you all for being here. I truly hope that the program will help you, the content. I hope you work hard over the next year and put your team together, build it. It's not going to be a quick process, but once you have that core team around you that's pulling for your success, you'll be well on your way. I obviously encourage you to come to the website. I have a ton of content available that you should find helpful if you're an aspiring trader at any level. A lot of stuff on trading psychology, bunch of stuff, along with my daily content that's more driven to, active trading and swing trading and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff on the blog that should help you. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on StockTwits. I'd welcome your email if you want to reach out to me directly and ask some questions or whatever. Happy to answer it for you. Happy to do my best to help you move the ball downfield. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks again. This has been Chris Buss from Traders Profit Compass. Talk to you soon.